I'm very pleased to introduce to you Daniel Heller's book, Jabotinsky's Children, Polish Jews and the Rise of Right-Wing Zionism, published last year by Princeton University Press, and to hereby award him the 2018 Canadian Jewish Literary Award for best work in our final category for the afternoon scholarship. Daniel earned his PhD from Stanford in 2012 and taught at McGill before his appointment as the Cronehill Senior Lecturer in East European Jewish History at Monash University's Australian Centre for Jewish Civilization, from whence he traveled to be with us for the afternoon. We're very glad to have you in person, Daniel. Professor Heller's thickly researched history of Jabotinsky and the Beitar youth movement in interwar Poland, gleaned from Israeli, American, and Polish archives, offers a timely study of the origins of right-wing Zionism. The book shows that many of the ideas, strategies, and political perspectives of revisionist Zionism originated in Poland rather than the Yishuv, incubated among Polish Jews who were attracted to far-right and even fascist leaders of European nationalist movements. His book explains how Zev Jabotinsky, a cadre of Jewish organizers, and tens of thousands of Beitar young Jewish men and women grappled with authoritarian leadership styles, approached the potential of the power of youth, and argued about the right amount of violence and militancy that would be necessary to establish a Jewish state in place of British Mandate Palestine. The awards jury was unanimous in agreement that this superbly articulated book is an important work for two essential dimensions of 20th century Jewish life, Polish-Jewish relations, and the development of Zionist thought and mobilization. As a fellow historian of modern Jewish life, I very much hope that Daniel's work will inspire other scholars to give serious consideration to the many other movements and moments of the Jewish right, a profoundly important sector of 19th, 20th, and 21st century worldwide Jewry that has been given too little attention and discussion. Congratulations, Daniel. Well deserved.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you so much as well to the jury of the Canadian Jewish Literary Awards. I can't tell you what a privilege it is to be here. I arrived from Melbourne, Australia, or as I say in Australia, Australia, on Friday morning. I'm leaving in about 3 hours. So it is really so special to be with you this afternoon. I'm the only thing standing between you and the refreshments. So I will be very brief. I think David did a really nice job of explaining the thrust of what my book was about. I would rather spend a minute or so just speaking about why I decided to write about Jewish life before the Holocaust. I think in many ways the books that have been presented here, many of them are a testament, in our community at least, to the extraordinary attention that we've paid to the horrific stories of the Holocaust. And of course, telling these stories is so critical, not only to our community, but really to broader Canadian society. But something that I discovered when teaching at McGill, and something that I discover each and every time I walk into a classroom, is that the generation of students that I'm teaching, especially if they're not Jewish, only really pay attention to the Jewish story because they're interested in how Jews died. And that's a terrible thing. Not only that, but these are students that have grown up with CNN, they've grown up with constant images on TV of mass violence. So when they see genocides happening elsewhere in the world, they oftentimes presume, and mistakenly so, that these people that they see on screen, these bodies, were somehow poised for that fate from the beginning. I wanted to write a book about the turbulent and dynamic political lives of Jewish youth on the eve of the Holocaust to overturn those stereotypes about the victims of genocide, to actually try to recover their humanity, and to help my students and hopefully readers see that their lives were not predetermined, they were not destined for destruction. These were people that fought vigorously, even against insurmountable, or what seemed like insurmountable odds, against the rise of anti-Semitism, against economic despair, to determine who they were, to determine on their own terms where they belonged, and most importantly, to determine on their own terms what their future held in store. So even though I do hope that this book is a contribution to scholarship on the Jewish right and on right-wing politics in general, above all, I hope that it captures the voices of Polish Jewish youth on the eve of the Second World War. Thank you very much.